Hello everybody and welcome to IGTV, a production of New York City Metro InfraGard Members Alliance. We have Ed Skoudis with us on the program today, and let me get out of the way here. There you go. Ed's in the background there. Let me turn down the music a little bit. Ed is from the SANS organization, and Ed and I have been talking about NETWARS now for quite a while, and it is coming. In 2 months, NETWARS will be here. Ed, welcome to the program. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on with NETWARS? And I know you've got 3 different areas you want to talk about. The first, InfoSec challenges and gamification. The second, what makes for good challenge and some examples you're going to give us. And the third, how and why we built NETWARS. We'd be curious to hear about that. We always wondered what you guys at SANS do while you're off, you know? All right, so go ahead, Ed. Take it away. You're on live.
Hey, thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. So kind of as a motivation for what we're talking about here is to get to how people learn. Have you ever thought about how you learn? I don't know about you, but I learn most for actual hands-on job qualifications by putting my fingers on the keyboard and working my way through various scenarios. That's how I learn. And we found that a lot of the students that we talk with, that's what they like as well. They like much hands-on exercises as we can possibly get them. So we were thinking, is there a way that we can do a class, a learning environment that's pretty much 100% hands-on exercises? And we came up with a way to do that. It's through something called gamification. So let's go ahead and move on to the next slide to talk about what gamification means. So gamification, by definition, is where you take some activity, some behavior, and you try to make it into a game. Something that's kind of fun, something that's kind of interesting, something that shows your progress as you're advancing through it. And in fact, according to Wikipedia, the definition of gamification is encouraging users to engage in desired behaviors, such as building their information security skills by showing a path to mastery and autonomy. And it can also make it kind of fun and interesting. So gamification is something that we're seeing out in the real world. McDonald's, for example, has its Monopoly promotion. They are gamifying the buying of soda and French fries. You could do gamification on things that are a little more important than that, like building your own information security career. So how could we use information security challenges to build the capabilities of our people and our organization? Well, you could give them a challenge, sort of a capture the flag game, and see how they do and how we could measure their abilities, like their technical skills, their analytic skills. Can they solve these puzzles and problems? How creative are they? Can they think outside of the box? What are their organizational skills for working their way through challenges? You could also use it to identify talent that you might not know that you already have in your organization. There might be people that have developed their skills already, and you don't even know because they're in a completely different job. Maybe they're in a sales role. Maybe they're in a general IT role, but they've got great InfoSec skills. We tried to put together some ideas of challenges that can be used to identify this latent knowledge and capability you have in your organizations. You can also just use it to train. I love learning by working on capture the flag competitions. I cut my teeth in some really significant information security hands-on capabilities by participating in capture the flag events. I participated in several out at DEF CON. And I really learned a lot from them. And I think we can kind of share that knowledge and that learning environment with other people. You can also provide motivation for people by giving them this sort of gamified environment. Let's go to the next slide. So what makes a game a game? Well, there should be some sort of scoring in it, some sort of sense that I'm making progress, I'm solving things, I'm mastering the material, and I'm dominating over it. And if you think about scoring versus grading, scoring actually drives human behavior forward in a little better way. Grading, it feels bad because you sort of start with 100% and then you get one wrong and now you're at 90% and you get another one wrong and you're at 80%. Whereas with scoring, you start with 0 and man, you hit the first one and it's wonderful. So now you're at 10%. Then you get your next one, so you're like 20% and 30%. You're building up. It's actually the same concept, but with a completely reversed psychology, and a psychology that drives people to want to learn more and move on to the next level. You want to rewards in a game so that they can get that sense of accomplishment. Maybe it's something associated with their icons. They can show that they're moving faster, moving forward in the game, or you can see a map and certain territory that they've conquered. You want to give them that sense that they're making progress. You also want to have them solve some puzzles, and to the extent possible, try to make it fun, interesting, kind of exciting. Maybe even integrate a little bit of humor and real-world scenarios. You've got to have real-world scenarios in here, or else people are just developing skills they're not going to be able to apply back into their job. So these are sort of the characteristics of the game that I wanted to talk about in this first session. In our next section, we're going to talk about some additional characteristics of what makes games successful, and then talk about some free information security challenges that you can find online.
Sounds great, Ed. We look forward to the next one. And NETWARS, everybody, it's coming to New York City, October 10th and 11th.